Hey guys, Tanner VR back today with something a little bit different. We're going to talk about some Mega Evolution abilities today. My good friend That's a Plus One put out a video that is absolutely amazing. Check it out. He's got a lot of insight, a lot of knowledge on how Pokemon likes to kind of word a lot of the Pokedex entries to give insights onto what the abilities and movesets could be on some of these Megas. So, let's start off with Mega Dragonite. As we see, I know everyone's going, this thing gets aerialate. That's my guess too. I'm going to assume this thing is probably getting aerialate. The only other thing that I could really see this thing getting, except for a new ability, I do think a lot of these might be new abilities that we might see, which would be really cool. I could see like speed boost just because how much they emphasize in this Pokedex entry about how like fast it is and how it instantly rushes to aids and all of that kind of stuff, and it likes to end battles quickly. So I could see a speed boost kind of thing, but like I said, I think that's the easiest one. I think that's going to be aerialate. I think they're going to try and top Mega Salamence with the Mega Dragonite. Moving forward, we're going to talk about Mega Victreebel. This mon is super cool, actually. I really like this Mega Victreebel. So I know That's a Plus One talked a lot about Super Sweet Syrup, which is a great pick for what its ability could be with immobilizing, really kind of dropping that evasion down. That being said, I do think that corrosion is a topical point to bring out because it does mention a lot in here about melting through concrete or steel. But I don't know if they would go corrosion with the ability. I think some kind of corrosive move that is essentially corrosion, but it's a specific move. I think Mega Victreebel is going to get a signature move that works like the corrosion ability. That's kind of where I'm looking with this Mega Victreebel. I do think that Super Sweet Syrup would be a really cool addition to Mega Victreebel. I know a lot of people are wanting to see grassy terrain. I don't see it. I see Victreebel more as a poison type than a grass type, to be honest, but still a really cool mon. A lot of cool things they can do with it. Moving forward, we have Mega Hawlucha. This one I'm super excited about. I know there was a lot of talk with That's a Plus One about like a bulk up ability, which I think would be super cool, almost making it kind of like a Zamazenta plus Zacian. I think they'd really have to drop Hawlucha speed to kind of negate the attack and defense boost, but they could do some really cool things with Hawlucha. Hawlucha's always been a very underrated pick in like OU and stuff. I love this mon so much. What I really want to talk about, is the competitiveness that a Mega Evolution is going to bring to Hawlucha. In like a closed team sheet situation, you don't know if this thing's holding a Mega Stone or if it's just like an unburdened White Herb set. So you don't know, like if this thing gets an ability on where it Mega Evolves that like boosts its attack and defense, and you don't know if this is like an unburdened speed boosting Hawlucha or like a Mega Evolving attack and defense boost Hawlucha. So many mind games in competitive Pokemon with this thing. So like you might have to run Haze or Clear Smog. But that's what I think is really cool about Hawlucha is getting this Mega Evo. If it has some kind of boosting ability, its competitiveness skyrockets, especially in close team sheet situations, because you don't know which way this thing's gonna go. Now, Mega Malamar, one of the biggest, hypest sets that they did. This design is sick, by the way. This, I do agree. I think this thing is getting a new ability that has not been seen in Pokemon yet. I don't know what it is. I know there's been a lot of talk of like an ability that sets gravity upon entering field, which I think kind of goes in line with what a lot of Pokemon has been doing with Super Sweet Syrup with Hydrapple. They've really been doing like stat boosting, stat dropping upon switching abilities. It's been kind of cool to see, and it hasn't really been able to been utilized very effectively, I feel like, in competitive Pokemon. I would have liked to see Hydrapple seen a little bit more usage. Obviously Regenerator is absolutely cracked, so like it's hard to kind of beat that in a singles environment. Obviously Super Sweet Syrup is more of a VGC doubles, but that being said, the gravity ability would be cool because they do focus a lot on hypnosis in its Pokedex entry. I could also see something with the way it talks a lot about controlling people and controlling and hypnotizing. Maybe not going down the hypnotizing route, but more of like a auto confusion upon switch in, I think would be like not broken, because confusion isn't super detrimental, but it does add that little bit of RNG that people don't really want to deal with. And I think it would make Malamar a super annoying Pokemon to deal with in competitive if, like, whenever it switches in, your Pokemon get confused. Could be cool. Now, getting into the Kalos starters. Mega Chesnaught, which this design is absolutely sick. I love this design. Chesnaught's such a cool Pokemon, and I love using it in singles. Not the original Chesnaught design is not really my favorite. I'm not a big fan of the original Chesnaught design, but this looks sick. So I know Shell Armor was That's a +1's big pick for the ability for this Pokemon, which I do agree with. It would be absolutely cracked. It can't get crit. Iron Defense Body Press sets become absolutely amazing. I mean, this thing is so good with longevity, and Shell Armor would make it so much better. Fur Coat could be interesting, but I don't see this thing really getting Fur Coat, because, like, it is kind of, I mean, I guess it's furry. Fur Coat could be cool, but I could see them bringing back stance change for this Pokemon, and mostly that's coming from literally right here, where its shield-like shoulder armor transforms into destructive weapons. So you have the defensive capabilities, and then all of a sudden you just flip it on with the offense. This is the second coming of Aegislash. I think it'd be really cool if this thing gets stance change. I could also see it getting some kind of move like, what's that Mon? The fighting Mon. It gets no retreat. That's the move I'm thinking about. Foulings. I'll get there. I do think that it could get, like, this could be a no retreat Mon. But I'd really like to see stance change. And I think with the way this is, like, talking about defenses and, like, shields turning into weapons, I like stance change for this one. I think it'd be super cool. Moving forward, we have Mega Delphox, which initially I thought, upon seeing this, I'm like, oh, this thing obviously gets levitate. Because, I mean, look at it. It's on a broomstick. And obviously Delphox would be absolutely busted with levitate. But I do think that That's +1 is right on the money with it getting dazzling, because this is just a very, where is it at? It's just a very weird choice of words to say that it dazzles its opponents. And I do think that, like, a lot of people were saying, like, they wanted to see it get psychic terrain. I do think that dazzling kind of, to an extent, accomplishes the same goal without making Delphox absolutely busted. Could you imagine Delphox already is super high special attack? This thing sets psi terrain for itself to just throw off giant expanding forces. I think it would be cracked. I mean, I'm all for it. But dazzling kind of accomplishes the same thing without making it more offensive, even though a lot of megas kind of lean into more hyper aggressive aggro stuff. But the big one, Mega Greninja. Pokemon trying to top Ash Greninja. I actually really do like the blue, like, helmet looking thing that it's got on its head, like this thing right here. I think it's a really cool design. I'm a big fan. I mean, I really like the color blue, to be honest. It's one of my favorites. And this gives me very, like, Mega Man vibes. So, like, this design, I love. Absolutely love it. Huge fan of, like, ninja design Pokemon, too. I know there's a lot of talk around Prankster Greninja, which I think would be a really cool set to kind of do a more support Greninja, because it already just kind of comes in and KOs things. But it's a little weak, so, like, I feel like giving it that option to do, like, a Prankster Tailwind would be really cool. I could see them also, this is basically strictly off of the fact that it's got the helicopter Shuriken. Something like Propeller Tail. Something that says you can't redirect me. I'm moving so fast, you can't redirect me. But with this being the end of the Kalos starters, I want to kind of talk about where that's said stuff like dazzling delphox, prankster, greninja. Like Pokemon really likes to, especially with the starters, kind of counteract the starters with each other. So like this thing getting prankster, but this thing getting dazzling to counteract that prankster and to make it say, no, you can't, prankster things is kind of cool. Or it would be cool if, I should say it would be cool if that's actually what it can do. Really just stop the priority. Also, Greninja maybe they give it a new priority move. Maybe. So, that being said, those are those megas, which leads us directly into the Mega Raichus. Love the Mega Raichus, to be honest. Raichu is one of my absolute favorite Pokemon from Kanto. I love electric types. Love Jolteon. Love Raichu. Raichu does not get the love it deserves. Everyone wants to focus on Pikachu, and Raichu's just like, hey, I'm cool. I'm hip. Anyways, Mega Raichu X. Mold Breaker would be absolutely amazing for this Pokemon. I do think that Mold Breaker Raichu is cracked. Raichu has always been a more, not defensive, I don't want to say defensive, supportive Pokemon. I feel like you fake out Encore, Lightning Rod, Faint. It's got a lot of support, side Pokemon type tech for VGC. Speaking VGC, it's got a lot of support stuff. It's always been like, it can hit hard, but it's more supportive of nature. Electro webs, that kind of stuff. And again, Mega Evolutions are supposed to be a little bit more aggressive because, there's a lot of kind of dark Pokedex entries with Mega Evolutions. They tend to see the Pokemon go through a lot of pain in Mega Evolutions. So it's kind of sad. But they get more aggressive. So Mold Breaker would be really cool. I could see this thing getting Levitate because it does talk a lot about, using electromagnetism to propel itself swiftly through the air. So like Levitate could be cool. Obviously, any electric Pokemon with Levitate is choice in my book because I love, electric Pokemon. And if you get rid of that ground weakness, I'd like it. That being said, it also talks a lot about fists, so I could see this thing getting Iron Fist, but then you're kind of turning it into like a budget Palmot, so you'd have to make it quite a bit stronger. Mega Raichu X, though, super peak design, super cool. I could see, like I said, Mold Breaker, Levitate, Iron Fist. Any of those three, I'm all for this Pokemon. So, Mega Raichu Y. Not as I like the design of X better than Y. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a huge fan of the Mega Raichu Y, but that being said, I am a huge special attacker fan. So more than likely, this is looking like competitively the one that I would use. Lightning Rod, obviously. I mean, look at these. These just look like lightning rods, and now it's got 3 of them. It's got the little lightning rod ears, and it's got the little lightning rod tail. It'd be cool. I could see lightning rod. That being said, Galvanize could be really, really strong. It's just so much electric energy is pouring through it that even its normal type moves become electric. Looking at this, again, going back to kind of the lore of Mega Evolutions, I could see Mega Raichu Y setting electric terrain. Because you have the Alolan Raichu that gets Surge Surfer, so you already kind of have lore of, hey, Raichu likes terrain. And Mega Raichu Y is giving off strong vibes of, hey, I'm just gonna KO you. And I think electric terrain goes hard with that. Mega Raichu Y setting its own electric terrain and getting if it gets rising voltage, and if it gets a boost to its special attack and a little bit faster, Mega Raichu Y could be cracked. So those are the new Mega Evolutions in Legends ZA. I'm super excited for these games. I don't know if you guys are, but I am super excited about these games. It's going to be fun. I know these are locked behind ranked battles, but that being said, I'm kind of excited about ranked battles in Legends ZA to see what that entails. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on the abilities, how close you think that we are to guessing these abilities. I think that especially the Kalos starters plus Malamar, I think are going to have new signature abilities. Is what my bet is. Like, I think these guys are going to have recycled abilities. But I think these guys might get new abilities. But we'll see. We'll see. Either way, exciting times. Mega's one of the coolest gimmicks that Pokemon's ever done. Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you think that I'm right. Let me know if you have other ideas on what these things could be. I know a lot of people were talking about hawlucha possibly like getting stamina, which would be cracked as well. But yeah, we're gonna call it there. Guys, if you stuck around this long, please drop a like, drop a comment, drop a sub. Again, as always, have a great day. Peace.